How's it, everybody? JK Exilic Music. We want to completely flip the script here today and do a bit of an outside broadcast. And what we want to talk about is digital audio editing, more specifically, the 8 step edit. So, the subject of digital audio editing is critical in this day and age, particularly if you're wanting to put out music that is radio ready, commercially viable, and of a high production standard. Quality is key. And I mean, in this day and age, music that is commercially appealing is almost perfect. This is where editing is crucial. So it's post production and pre mix. It's obviously still part of the wider production process, but it's a critical step, a crucial step to help you get your tracks polished. So we've identified these 8 steps, and this is our workflow. Someone else might have a slightly different workflow. They may have combined some of the steps, they may have some extra steps, but this is pretty much our workflow. 8 steps. So let me run down the steps for you quickly, and then we'll unpack them one by one. Step 1, arrange track order. Number 2, label your tracks. Thirdly, color code them. Step 4, top and tail. Number 5, tightening up. Number 6, comping. Number 7, cleaning up with EQ. And then number 8, export those separates so that they're ready for the mix. So let's jump into step 1. Step 1, arranging track order. When music is produced, typically it's recorded in a highly creative space where it's very necessary to keep things moving quickly. And when things are moving quickly, creative juices are flowing, we don't have a lot of time to arrange track order and color code things, etc., etc. Often then, once a session is done, things aren't well arranged. Now, if you're going to do a good edit, you're going to have to start off with arranging what you are about to edit. And so here, things like color coding is key. But before even color coding, just putting tracks in a logical order. It just helps with workflow, it helps with thinking, it helps to get rid of clutter. So, for example, we like to work with instrumentation separate from vocals. So we'd, for example, have all the instruments at the top of the digital audio workstation, the range page. We work in Logic. And so we like to have the instruments at the top. And I love to start off with the bottom end. So with the kick and with the bass. In fact, personally, I love to put the bass track first and then the drums. And so we go kick, snare or snares, hats, and just arrange them. Then also label them and just make sure that everything is looking good so that you can tackle the job systematically. Arrange track order. Step 2, label. And this has got to do with tagging, and it's digital audio workstations are so simple these days. You can insert your naming conventions, and you can do this both in your arrange page as well as in your mixer. And nowadays, these workstations give you space to insert quite a number of characters. So you could have quite a descriptive label. You may not be able to see the entire label, but there should be the option of you opening that up. But track labeling is critical, and label things in a logical order. If it's a kick drum, call it a kick. If it's a synth, call it a synth. Try and describe the synth. Sometimes from the recording session, the labeling is very kind of nebulous and neither here nor there, because it might have the name of the synth, which is not as descriptive. It might not even say synth, or it might not say pad, or it might not say bass. So make it simple. I like to keep it as simple as if it's a bass, bass. If it's a synth bass, synth bass. And you can label not just the track, but also the region. And so sometimes regions need to have different names depending on the region of the song they occupy. You might want to label your hook differently from your verse, differently from your bridge, etc., etc. Labeling is critical, both track labeling and region labeling. Step 3, color code. So this visual representation speeds up sonic workflow. Color code, and you can color code in whichever way you want. I like to color code each track differently, and I like to use the complete color spectrum. So I'll start with dark colors and move all the way down. So when I look at it, it's actually quite visually appealing, but the distinctions in the colors help me see the distinctions in the tracks. Sometimes you might want to color code groups, so all of your drums the same color. and then maybe all of your keys the same color, all of your guitars the same color. Whatever suits you, but use the color coding. It will enhance and speed up your workflow once you get beyond the editing stage into mixing. Step 4, top and tail. What do I mean by topping and tailing? Here we're talking about really cleaning up audio. So it's looking for noise, it's cleaning up from the start of the particular track to the end. And so what you want to do here very simply is solo the track, listen for any unwanted noise at the start, listen for hisses and pops and clicks throughout the track, and listen to the tail, the end. How does the track fade? Sometimes I listen to music and like before the track starts there's noise, or after the track is faded out that's noise. That's just bad editing. So make sure that your tracks are topped and tailed. We're going to come back in a second video and talk through the next 4 steps. But these first 4, just to reiterate: number 1, arrange track order; number 2, label; number 3, color code; and number 4, top and tail.